just male lifters with a spinal cord injury to include athletes with physical impairments that affect their lower limbs or hips, or athletes with short stature. Female powerlifters made their Paralympic debut in 2000. Powerlifting is the ultimate test of upper body strength, and you'll often see athletes lifting more than 3 times their own body weight. Powerlifters are split into 10 different categories based on body weight for each gender. Powerlifting consists of one discipline, a bench press. Unlike the able-bodied sport where athletes use their feet on the floor to assist the bench press, Paralympic athletes lie totally flat on a completely different style of bench. Each competitor has 2 minutes to complete their attempt. When the lifter has the bar under full control, they must wait until they receive the command, start. Then they have to lower the bar in a controlled manner and definitively stop it on the chest. Next, they press it upwards, lock out both elbows simultaneously and hold the bar under control until the referees command to wrap. At least 2 white lights are required, then 3 referees for a good lift. A red light indicates a bad lift. Athletes have 3 attempts, and the winner is the athlete that lifts the heaviest weight. In the 3rd round, 2 weight changes are permitted. The weight change can be higher or lower. No changes are allowed if the lifter has already been called to the platform by the speaker, and or if the bar has already been loaded. To attempt a new record, it must exceed the previous one set by a minimum of 0.5 kilograms. Where a world record is broken during the actual 3 lifts of competition, the 0.5 kilograms does not count towards the competition total, but is rounded down to the full kilogram. The jury may allow a 4th attempt for a world record. This adds suspense to the competition, as a lifter could break the world record but may not win gold. Powerlifting offers a tense and dramatic spectacle where coaches have to be good strategists as their athletes battle to outlift their rivals.
Good evening and a very warm welcome back to Algiers. It's the 2018 World Powerlifting African Championships live from the Hacha Hassan Arena, and we're bringing you live coverage of the men's up to 65 weight division, our final session of day 2, and you can see what we've already had so far today. Lots of medals have been awarded, 4 sets of medals in total. This is the 5th and final set for the penultimate day of action. And in this evening's session we have 7 competitors, some of which you can see warming up in the warm-up area behind the main stage here at the Hacha Hassan Arena, seemingly in good spirits for what is probably the biggest crowd of the day that has assembled and ready for the action that will be taking place over the course of the next hour or so. So our main 3 referees just coming to the stage now as we see the best lifts ever in the men's up to 65 category. The world record held by Paul Kahinde, who's taking part in this event, and he's going for gold, but he's going to have a difficult task because he'll be up against Hassan Batia. You can see with the number 62 next to his name, from Algeria, a home favourite, bronze medalist from the World Championships in 2017, which was his first international meet, so he'll be using that experience to grow and go even better here this evening in his home territory. There's a jury made up as ever of 5 technical officials from all around. So the countdown complete, and we are ready to go with this men's up to 65 kg competition. Once again, a very warm welcome to the Hacha Hassan Arena in the heart of the Algerian capital. The final session of day 2 of the World Powerlifting African Championships. 88 athletes from 14 countries over the course of the weekend here competing, and we're about to be introduced to 7 more in this event. And the first of our lifters coming from Egypt, and it's the only junior competitor taking part in this event. Of course, for the juniors it's all about meeting the minimum qualification standard set for the pathway for Tokyo 2020, and any athlete or junior athlete that manages to achieve that will get a medal, and the standard for this category is 135. But to start off with, Mohamed Ali is going for 117. "18 years old, the Egyptian weighing 64 kg on the dot. Routine stuff for them, and it looked pretty routine as well for Mohamed Ali, who will be delighted with the way he has entered this competition. Sweeping aside 117 kg, and he can now plot his way to bigger and greater things over the course of this evening's session. 2 more lists to come from him. And just to squeeze it up there confidently enough, and the officials liked what they saw. The bar now weighing 130 kg for Abrahim Othman from Libya, 25 years of age, and lifting here what would be just over twice his body weight. Good lift from Abrahim Othman. And again, 3 out of 3 from the officials. Important to get the bar completely on your chest and then lock it up equally with both elbows. And that's exactly what Abrahim Othman did. So the bar now being stacked to 150, and this is for Younes Haradi of Morocco, the 49-year-old, coming here on the back of entering the European Open Championships, which invites competitors from not just Europe but all around the world. And he managed a lift of 147 there. And he's going 3k bigger and better here, aiming for 150. Previous international competition before that was the World Championships in 2010, where he finished 18th. It's going to be very difficult for all of our athletes to cement a place on the podium here, so every lift vital. And this is Younes Haradi's first on 150k. Seemed good enough to me, but not to the officials, and 2-1 against. It's a marginal call. No complaints from Younes Haradi, who will have to come back to the bench and have another go at that. Just see that lift once again. Perhaps wasn't the most, or the lift with the most conviction. They are the tight calls the officials have to make, and that's why there's three of them. Three different angles to ensure they make the right call. So next is Adouhova Anno from Côte d'Ivoire, 35 years old. He's an office worker by trade. He's been taking part in the sport since 2007 and made his international debut in 2009. Says the most influential person in his career is Egyptian powerlifter Sherry Upman, who of course we saw earlier win gold with a lift of 206. And the men's up to 59. And here it's all about Anno, who got a top 10 finish at the 2017 World Championships. That was a lift of 164. He starts off here 163, and he has 50 seconds remaining to make this lift. No lift, unfortunately, for Adouhova Anno. So after two good lifts in a row, we've had two no lifts in a row. A lot of the athletes in this category going out strong from the start. There's no wasted lifts in there, no lifts in there to just bed themselves in and to find a comfortable position in this competition. They're going out strong from the start, but unfortunately for Adouhova Anno and Younes Haradi before him, not quite worked out to plan. Attention now focuses back to Egypt in the second of their two competitors in this competition, and it's Mahmoud Attia. He finished 6th at the World Championships in 2017 with a lift of 177, starting off here with 170, and the 36-year-old knows by lifting this he will provisionally go into the gold medal spot, but even if the next two, Paul Kehinde and Hossein Betia, complete their lifts, he will be third after round one. So he'll be seeing himself as a dark horse for a gold medal here, Mahmoud Attia, but of course he has to make sure that he makes his lift count, as not only a relief for himself but also to send out a statement to the rest of the competition. Well, big roar from the crowd, and a good lift as well awarded by the officials. So Mahmoud Attia, an outsider potentially for a gold medal here. He'll certainly fancy his chances on one of the other two podium spots. Off to a smooth and impressive start. Real good determination there on that lift, real spirit behind it, and his coach just penning down what the weight of his next lift will be. Now we look to one of our contenders for a gold medal, and maybe a first male gold for Algeria at these games. Hossein Betia coming up now, hoping to conquer a lift of 182 kg. He knows the reputation of Paul Kehinde, and he knows how important it is to get off to a good enough start. And the 28-year-old, he managed to lift 188 at the World Championships in 2017. He's going for a medal of a different colour in his home championships. Well, he needed that to go well, and it has gone well. Hossein Betia with 182. And that very much is the ideal start, especially when you consider the monstrous weight that we're about to see Paul Kehinde try and lift. 195 will be the bar for him. But as we recap here on Hossein Betia's start, the home favourite There's more than just lift. It's a sports administrator by trade and quadlingual, that's a word. Speaks 4 languages. This is Hossein Bhatia. And spotter's just been told here what the right weight is for Paul Kehinde to come. It's 195. So just making sure the right weight is applied, and also that the rack is at the right height as well. Of course, it adjusts for each athlete depending on what their arm span is, and that can vary, particularly in the categories featuring lighter weighted athletes, as some of the impairments there can be through short stature. Paul Kehinde is in the building, the world record holder, going for 195 here, 3 times his body weight. And he is here meaning business and trying to carry on the trend of Nigerian success so far here. Well, that seems solid from Paul Kehinde, and we're waiting for the judges to agree, and they do as well, unanimously. So 195 puts Paul Kehinde in front overall after the first round of lifts, with Hossein Bhatia currently in second and Mahmoud Attia in third. But of course it could all change between now and the end of round 3. Round 1 though, going the way of Paul Kehinde. So Mohamed Ali is back after a successful lift first time around of 117. He's now going for 122. Nearly twice his body weight. And a real chance for the 18-year-old to stamp a marker here. Still 13k off the minimum qualification standard set for Tokyo 2020. It's a compulsory weight that you've got to get if you are to be considered for the rest of the qualification process for the next Paralympic Games. But right now, Mohamed Ali may not have that in the front of his mind. It's about conquering 122, his next lift. Convincing enough from Muhammad Ali. Judges favouring him 2-1. On 122 is a junior African record. The previous record was set by Sayed Taib of Libya back in 2014. So Muhammad Ali, the best junior African in this weight division. Just joining us, you're watching live coverage of day 2, the final session of the men's up to 65 kilogram competition in the World Powerlifting African Championships 2018, live in Algiers in Algeria. Ibrahim Othman of Libya next to take the stage, and I think he knows that the odds of him getting a bronze medal are very slim, as the benchmark for that is 170, but he's going here for 137. He was giving it everything he got there, Ibrahim Othman, but not enough to convince at least 2 of the judges that it was worthy of a good lift. But he's not deterred by that. I think one thing you find with the athletes is that when a no lift is given, they do usually concur with that decision. They'll be able to feel it themselves whether or not it's a strong lift. You can see that his left arm, the right as we look, just seems to be a bit more dominant there and stronger on the uplift. Yunus Haradi is back. Interestingly, only he and Hassim Batia weigh less than 64k. Haradi 63.7. Failed with his first lift at 150, but now he's keen to not just get a lift on the scorecard, but also do it 5k superior to his previous attempt. Turns 50 at the end of October. There's Yunus Haradi, proving here age is very much just a number. How's it looking this time? Not good enough again, despite the applause from the crowd. So it's going to go down to a final lift for Yunus Haradi. Seems pretty composed in the way he looked there. His arms just not extending smoothly, and the referees completely within their rights there to call that a no lift. Now with an outside chance for bronze, we have Aduhava Ano coming back for a second attempt. Failed with 163 first time around, now going for 165, so this still, if he did manage to get this lift, would only put him in 4th. But at the moment, he doesn't have a valid lift next to his name, so that will be the first priority. You took quite a bit of time on the previous lift. Get yourself ready. You can see the clock in the top left of the screen there, just counting down. We're currently at 1:20. The 2-minute countdown starts as soon as the athlete is announced and begins to parade themselves onto the stage. Aduhava Ano on 165 here to get his first lift registered. Don't know if the officials are going to rate that one. They don't. Did look like a bit of a struggle there for Ano. So this will go to a final lift for him in a bid to get one valid score on the board. He and Yunus Haradi very much in the same boat in that respect. So it looks like it's a straight battle for bronze, silver and gold between the remaining 3 athletes. Mahmoud Attia, Hossein Batir and Paul Kahinde. That's the current order in 3rd, 2nd and 1st. Is there any room for a change in the complexion there? Well, Mahmoud Attia of Egypt, who turns 37 tomorrow, knows that he will solidify 3rd spot if he can get this lift of 177, but he'd still be 5k behind Hossein Batir, who occupies silver. And it's a point I've made previously this weekend, but it certainly rings true that it's not all about the medals here. It's about the personal progressions, and it's about ensuring you're getting used to that competitive international environment. Now for a lot of these competitors, they've been here and done all that before, but for others they haven't. But whether they have or haven't, it's still important to get those personal bests conquered. Mahmoud Attia coming onto the stage then, licking his lips at the prospect of beating 177. Last word from the coach, for it's all down to Mahmoud Attia. Good lift. And a really good confidence boost as well for Mahmoud Attia, who will get a medal. We're pretty certain of that. Will he try and spring a surprise in his final lift with maybe one that could challenge a silver medal? And next the Algerian Hossein Betir, who is in pole position for silver, unless Mahmoud Atia stings his tail in the final round. But Betir is really trying to extend the gap between the two of them by going for 185. He's realistic, he knows he's probably not going to manage any weight that Paul Kehinde can manage. So silver and a PB will do him just fine. He knows that it's not all about just playing it safe, but you have to make sure you get your lifts solidified, and he certainly would have learnt a lesson after Rio 2016 where he failed his 3 attempts there. 2 years on the path to Tokyo 2020, well aware. No slip-ups are allowed, no lapses in concentration. He certainly will come away from this event with at least one successful lift. With 182 in the previous round. Can he make it 2 successful lifts with 185 here? Yes, he can. A wag of the finger. And a unanimous positive verdict from the officials. Betir looking good for silver. Here's the lift, and just see, even though the bar's not completely level, the arms are. There's an even balance of pressure being applied to that bar by his left and his right arm. And he knew as soon as he lifted that he'd managed to do the job and do it successfully. And there's the paperwork being filled out for what his final lift will be. Whatever his final lift will be, probably won't be good enough for gold, because Paul Kehinde here really is raising the standard, now going for 205. Of course he's capable of that. Remember, he does hold the world record of 221, and he got that in Dubai earlier this year. Before that it was 220.5, which he got at the World Championships in Mexico in 2017 on his way to gold there. Of course, Paralympic champion from Rio, and also got silver this year in the Commonwealth Games in the Gold Coast after being the champion in 2014 in Glasgow. In 2016 and 2014, a couple of really good years there for Paul Kehinde. 2014, you see the national special award from the President of Nigeria after that golden world record at the Commonwealth Games. He was also named Male Athlete of the Year at the 2016 Nigeria Sports Awards as well. Oh, that is colossal. And fortunately, the officials didn't see it as a good lift, and I think that's the biggest sigh of disappointment we have had in the crowd so far this weekend. smile on his face as he exits the stage, but it was a tight one as to whether or not it was a good lift. It's good to this point. Successful lock on the chest, and then, well, the officials know exactly what they're looking for, and maybe they're seeing a bit more dominance with the left arm, and that was Paul Kahinde's downfall on that occasion. Nevertheless, he's still in first position, and it means the standings after round 2 see Paul Kahinde of Nigeria top, second is Hassim Batir of Algeria, and in third Mahmoud Atia of Egypt. 2 athletes below them, Abraham Othman and Mohammed Ali, and 2 athletes yet to register, Yunus Haradi and Adu Hovano. So a final lift for Mohammed Ali, who's not yet daring to venture towards 135, the minimum qualification standard, but he has still got time in upcoming powerlifting international competitions to meet 135. For now though, the target is 130. He's managed 2 lifts out of 2 so far, and this really would be the icing on the cake. Unfortunately, a step too far for Mohammed Ali. But his best lift will go down as 122, which of course is a new junior African record. And his competition, maybe not rounded off in the way that he'd like, but still a successful session for him. Just gets to that point there, and unfortunately that's where he gets stuck in the cement. He'll be frustrated with that, but I'm sure his coach will be reflecting and passing on his great experience. Of course, Egyptian coach, 5-time Paralympian, and also coaching the likes of Sharif Osman as well. Certainly someone to take heed to. And a bright future ahead for Mohammed Ali. And good to see so many of our juniors hitting their personal goals this week. Now Abraham Othman got off to a really good start with a lift of 130, stagnated on 137, and he's coming back on his final lift to try and hit that marker this time around. Looked good. Bit of a twitching in the arm there, but that was purely due to the strength he was having to muster. And the officials see it as a good lift. And Abraham Othman finishes the way he wanted to with a successful lift of 137. Well, at the moment, he is 4th out of 7. Now, whether he stays there or not is down to our next 2 lifters, who are yet to get a good lift next to their name. Adu Ano of Cote d'Ivoire, but first Younes Haradi of Morocco. He's having another crack of the whip at 155. Bit of a stall. It's way back up, and that again has gone against Younes Haradi, who unfortunately on 3 out of 3 occasions has been defeated. Pat on the back from his coach. A frustrating day for Younes Haradi. Just wasn't to be. You don't have to be an official with much experience to recognise that as a no lift. However, Ano of Cote d'Ivoire will be hoping that it's not the same conclusion for him. He's yet to get one on the board. 165 again his target, which is proving to be a tough nut to crack. Well, his coach with him all the way. This would put him into 4th position. And most importantly, see him come away with a valid lift. Jean-Noel Malo, his coach, just making sure that Ano is strapped up sufficiently. And of course, these lifts hard enough physically as it is, and mentally coming in to this competition. But when you've gone 2 previous attempts unsuccessful, then they can become a bit of an enigma and a bugbearer. I do have Ano will just want to get this out of the way and face the disappointment of 3 unsuccessful lifts like Younes Haradi's just had to experience. And unfortunately, it's going to be the case. But I do Ano. One official did say good lift there, but 2 of them, in my opinion, correctly saying otherwise, and I do Ano with that dreaded 3 red dot reading next to his name. Sometimes it works for you, sometimes it doesn't, and that's the importance of making sure that your first lift is at a weight where you can push yourself but achieve it. so you can then build upon that. And it didn't happen for Adu Ano. Lessons to be learnt there for the 35-year-old. And Mahmoud Attia, who turns 37 tomorrow, he's already got himself a bronze. He is aiming here for a silver. It's a real stab in the dark at it, going for 186. What he needs here is to make sure this lift is successful, and then hope that Hasim Batia cannot better it. So Mahmoud Attia just trying to throw a bit of a curveball into the medal picture. How realistic a possibility is this for Mahmoud Attia to steal a silver when he's been perched in bronze in the previous 2 rounds? It's a brave and a bold move, but it's what we want to see. It's 9 kilo heavier than his previous lift, and it's almost 3 times his body weight. He's eating into as much time as he possibly can in preparation for this. Mahmoud Attia could be the biggest lift of his life. And unfortunately, too heavy for him. A wry smile from the coach. I'm sure that will be reflected by Mahmoud Attia, who says a prayer. Nevertheless, thankful that he did still manage to get a bronze medal from this event. 177 will go down as his best score, and he was unable to upset the home party and get in front of Hasim Batia, who now has his fate sealed as a silver medalist, and his procession will take place shortly. Hasim Batia backman, biggest roar of the night. 187 is his aim. He has accepted defeat in terms of the pursuit for gold, but that was always going to be unlikely against Paul Kahinde. So now all focus on this lift and finishing things off in style. He will be the only athlete in this session to have got 3 out of 3 if he succeeds with this lift. For a clean record and a silver medal on the table for Hasim Batia on his home territory in front of his own crowd. Well, the crowd pushing that up with him there, almost a nervous way, and it's a good lift. What great delight, what pure joy for Hasim Batia, who has managed 3 lifts out of 3 successful, and he's got a silver medal in Algiers for Algeria. This is where the crowd began to shout just as he was about to stumble, it seemed. But he has squeezed it over. Like his head was about to burst there before the crowd's intervention. And Hasim Bhatia already knew he'd got a silver, but goodness me, he wanted to improve that by an extra 2 kilo. He succeeded in doing so, and that puts him 10 kilo clear of bronze medalist Mahmoud Attia. Next lift then, Paul Kehinde of Nigeria, the world record holder, with a blot on his copybook in the previous round, getting a no lift on 205, now going for 210. It's as though that second round never happened. .221 is his world record that he managed 6 months ago in Dubai. Paul Kehinde, already the gold medalist and the African champion. This is his crowning, this is his coronation. Oh, and didn't he make it look so simple? Well, he made that look the easiest lift of the lot, and it was by far and away the hardest one. A good lift given, and 210 for Paul Kehinde. There's a semi-chance he may be back for another go and a possible world record, although I can't see any indication of that. And so that is the competition complete. Paul Kehinde top on 210, second and silver for Algeria's Hasim Bhatia, and the bronze will go to Egypt's Mahmoud Attia. But it will be once again the Nigerian national anthem that will see us home for the evening. Of course, Muhammad Ali of Egypt, we expect to get the junior medal potentially, although he didn't manage to reach 135, so we'll wait and see about that. But certainly Paul Kehinde will be sat centre of the podium very shortly indeed. He is the champion at the Algiers 2018 World Para Powerlifting African Championships in the men's up to 65k, where the medal presentation is coming up very shortly. Stick with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the men's up to 65 kilogram junior. Please welcome the medalists.
Welcome back to Algiers, and we are at the Hacha Hassan Arena. The medal presentation for the final session of day 2, the penultimate day of action at the Algiers 2018 World Para-Powerlifting African Championships. And this is the junior presentation for Muhammad Ali's gold medal in the men's up to 65 kilo category. Winning lift of 122. Which is a new junior African record. And so the Egyptian national anthem will play for Muhammad Ali, the junior African champion in the men's up to 65 kg and a new junior African record. So congratulations to Muhammad Ali. And coming up shortly, we'll have the senior presentation. Egypt will be back up there, but this time it won't be their national anthem. They'll be hearing as they got bronze through Mahmoud Atia, Hossein Betia of Algeria getting the silver, and Nigeria and Paul Kehinde, the gold medalists. Stay with us, that presentation coming up very soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the men's up to 65 kilograms. Please welcome the medalists.
سيداتي وسادتي والآن يكون حفل تتويج الفائزين لفئة وزن 65 رجال.
Another victory ceremony for the senior men's up to 65. Great reception, as you'd expect, for Paul Kahinde. A lot of love coming his way, a lot of love. He is rebounding back as well. Already he's posing before he's even got the medal around his neck. The first medal, though, to be given to Mahmoud Attia of Egypt. We thought this would be a really close contest for bronze, and it was promising to be so. However, Yunus Haradi and Adu Ano unable to either of them register a lift. Had they done so, it really could have been harum scarum stuff for Mahmoud Attia. Not to be the case though, and he comfortably sails in third spot with a best lift of 177. 10 kilos superior to him, Hossein Betia of Algeria, and he gets the silver medal. The lightest competitor in the competition, but the second heaviest bar to lift, and lift it he did. In fact, the only competitor to get 3 out of 3. And no wonder he's smiling so much. Of course, as you'd expect, in this championship being held in Algeria, he's got the biggest crowd with him. They're so loud they've knocked down the banner for seconds, but he won't care. Paul Kahinde then, the gold medalist, the world record holder, managing to lift 210 on his way to gold, and it really was an uncontested gold. No one can get within arm's length of this guy. A truly brilliant athlete, and one of the biggest names coming out of one of the biggest nations in the world of powerlifting. And it will be the national anthem of Nigeria we will hear now, after the exploits and the successes of Paul Kahinde, the African champion in the men's up to 65. Paul Kahinde, our 5th African Championship gold medalist of the day in what is our 4th and final session of day 2. Be sure to join us tomorrow for the final day of action, and we begin at 10:30 British Summer Time, which is 10:30 local time as well. We hope to have you back on the live stream for that, and we thank you for your company over the course of the day as well. We hope you've enjoyed it. Day 2 though, over and out here from Algiers at the Algiers 2018 World Powerlifting African Championships. We'll be back with a 3rd and final day, day 3, tomorrow at 10:30 AM. But for now, we'll leave you with images of the successors of the night. And from me, Jonathan Bell, it's a very good evening. Goodbye.